Title: Your brain isn't lazy. It's overwhelmed. Here's how to get your focus back. Your brain talks, spark your mind, guide your actions. You sit down at your desk, open your laptop, and tell yourself, all right, let's get this done. But an hour later, you're still staring at the same tab, bouncing between emails, checking your phone for the third time, wondering where your focus went. It's frustrating. And you start to think, maybe I'm just lazy. But here's the truth. And I want you to really hear this: you're not lazy. Your brain is overwhelmed. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention. Messages, deadlines, notifications, expectations. It's like trying to think clearly while 100 tiny hands are tugging at your sleeves all at once. Your mind isn't failing. It's doing its best to survive under pressure. And that's what this video is about: understanding why your brain feels like it can't focus, and how to gently, effectively bring it back. Let's start with something important. Focus is not a moral issue. Being able to concentrate doesn't make you a better person. Losing focus doesn't mean you're broken. Focus is a state, not a character trait. It changes depending on your environment, your emotions, and what your brain perceives as a threat or reward. And right now, most of our brains are on overload. Think of your brain like a garden. Every task, thought, and emotion is like a plant. Some are helpful. Some are weeds. Some grow fruit. Others drain the soil. Now imagine trying to grow a single flower, your deep focus, in a plot that's already packed with noise, stress, and constant distraction. It's not the flower's fault it won't grow. The environment just isn't ready. So let's take a look at what's really happening inside your head. Let's begin with something invisible but heavy: mental overwhelm. We are exposed to more information in a day than someone in the 15th century saw in a lifetime. Every tweet, video, message, article, your brain processes it all. Even when you think you're just browsing. That endless stream of input floods your working memory and crowds out the mental space needed for deep focus. Then there's the noise that doesn't come from outside, but inside: emotional clutter. Focus isn't just cognitive, it's deeply emotional. Maybe you're afraid of failing, or worried you'll disappoint someone, or feel you have to be perfect before you even start. These hidden emotional weights make starting hard. They don't show up on your calendar, but they steal your mental energy. They whisper, "Don't even try. You'll mess it up." It also helps to understand how many decisions you make each day, and how that wears you down. The average adult makes about 35,000 decisions every single day. From what to wear, to what to reply, to whether to check that notification, every choice uses up brainpower. By the time you sit down to focus, your mind may already be exhausted. And an exhausted brain doesn't ask, "What's my priority?" It asks, "What's easiest to escape into?" And finally, one more quiet thief of focus: the myth of multitasking. You're not bad at focusing. You've just trained your brain to switch. Every time you respond instantly to a ping, you're reinforcing a pattern: distraction equals reward. Over time, your brain gets addicted to novelty. And deep focus feels boring. But it's not your fault. It's just a habit loop that can be unlearned. Now that we've seen the causes, what can we do about it? You don't need another productivity hack. You need a reset, a way to help your brain feel safe, clear, and recentered. Here's a simple 3-step ritual to help you get your focus back. Let's begin not with a to-do, but a feeling. Before anything else, notice what's happening inside you. Before you try to focus, check in with your nervous system. Are you tense? Restless? Numb? Anxious? Take 60 seconds. Close your eyes. Breathe in slowly for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 6. Repeat 3 times. This signals your brain that you're safe, which is required for clarity. Remember, a panicked brain can't focus. A calm brain can. When the noise builds up in your head, the most healing thing you can do is let it out. Grab a piece of paper or open a blank doc. Write down everything on your mind, no structure, no judgment. This is not a to-do list. It's a mental unload. When thoughts live only in your head, they swirl endlessly. When you write them down, you give them form, and your brain breathes easier. Call it a brain dump. Call it mental hygiene. Just don't skip it. After you've made space in your mind, gently look for one small thing you can begin. From that list, pick one thing you can do in under 5 minutes. Send a message. Rename a file. Drink water. Open a tab. Tiny actions restart the engine. They remind your brain, we're capable. And each micro-win builds momentum. Focus grows through success, not pressure. And here's something subtle but powerful: give your brain a signal that it's time to focus. Train your brain with a ritual. Light a candle. Put on a specific playlist. Sit in the same chair. Your environment tells your brain what to expect. Make focus feel like a safe, familiar pattern, not a struggle. Over time, these signals become anchors. Your brain goes, ah. It's focus time. Let's recap. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're just overwhelmed. And overwhelm is not a personal failure, it's a nervous system response. But now, you have tools. Breathe and regulate, externalize your thoughts, start small, build anchors. These aren't tricks. They're acts of care. And they work, gently, reliably, sustainably. Final thought? Give yourself grace. Focus isn't about force. It's about rhythm. Some days your brain is cloudy. Some days it's clear. But every day, you have the power to choose a small step. A small pause. A small breath. And that, over time, rewires everything. Your brain talks, spark your mind, guide your actions. E&D, there's something else we don't talk about enough: the emotional toll of feeling behind. When you lose focus, you don't just feel distracted. You feel guilty. You look at others seemingly getting everything done, posting wins, chasing goals, always in motion, and wonder, what's wrong with me? But what you don't see is what they're not showing: the hidden stress, the off days, the spiral moments. Everyone battles distraction. Everyone wrestles with inertia. You're not alone, you're just being honest about it. And that honesty? It's not a weakness. It's where healing begins. Let's explore something powerful. Not all focus is the same. There's shallow focus, the kind that checks boxes, answers messages, rushes from task to task. Then there's deep focus, the kind that builds, creates, transforms. Deep focus isn't just harder. It's more vulnerable. Because to truly focus, you have to care. You have to open your mind to something meaningful. And that means risk, of failure, of judgment, of not finishing. Sometimes, distraction isn't the problem. It's protection. You avoid the task not because it's hard, but because it matters. And things that matter often scare us the most. So here's a reframe: the next time you catch yourself drifting, instead of saying I'm failing, ask, what part of me feels unsafe doing this right now? It might be fear of not doing it perfectly. or fear of disappointing someone, or just the ache of starting something uncertain. And that awareness shifts everything. Because once you name the fear, it softens. You can meet it, not with force, but with care. Another thing that helps? Redefining success. You don't need to finish the entire project today. You just need to begin. You don't need 8 straight hours of work. You need moments of presence. You don't need to prove your worth. You already have it. One breath. One sentence. One small act of showing up, that's enough. And if all else fails? Step away. Yes, walk away from the desk, the screen, the task. Go outside. Touch something real. Let your eyes rest on something far away. The brain wasn't made to stare at rectangles all day. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is nothing at all. Silence isn't wasted time. It's where clarity begins. So here's the truth, gently and simply, your attention isn't broken. It's just tired. And what it needs isn't more discipline. It needs rest, renewal, and kindness. Because when your brain feels safe, nourished, and trusted, it returns to you. Every time. And that's where your power lives, not in perfect focus, but in the gentle return. No matter how many times you get distracted, you can always come back. Back to your breath. Back to the moment. Back to the work that matters. With softness. With strength. With grace. Your brain talks, spark your mind, guide your actions.